Hi everybody, this is John Thompson. Today I'm going to show you a little tour of the Union Pacific Steam Shops in Cheyenne, Wyoming. As you can see, this is part of a larger complex that existed during the steam era. The roundhouse is currently reduced down to about 8 stalls. Union Pacific currently runs about 4 steam locomotives. To the right of the roundhouse is the machine shops. The machine shops again have been reduced down to about half the size they are. One of the most historic locomotives that the Union Pacific ran is the 4014, which was completed for the commemorative of the 150th anniversary of the driving of the Golden Spike. That locomotive is housed here in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Other locomotives in the program include Challenger 3985 and 844. Here we are at the Steamtown National Historic Site. The Steamtown National Historic Site was once part of the Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western. It then became later part of the Erie-Lackawanna system. It was abandoned by Conrail in 1982. The National Park Service acquired it, and we used it to house the collection from Bellows Falls, Vermont, from the Steamtown collection when they relocated. You will see a roundhouse and a machine shop in the back of the roundhouse, where they do restorations. There's also a rail yard, and part of the museum complex is also an active railway. So visitors can actually see trains being moved and trains going through in regular service. The other thing that I want to point out is Union Pacific Big Boy number 4012 is also on the site, and it is the only locomotive of its type to be on the eastern seaboard. Here we are at the Strasburg Railroad. As you can see, the Strasburg Railroad is in Pennsylvania. It's about 3 miles long. It's in Amish country, and they do run several trains during the day. Train excursions from Strasburg to Lehman Place, which is the interchange with Amtrak. You can see the whole complex here as we pan. And that big museum building, the big white building, is the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania. The turntable is used by the Strasburg Railroad to turn their locomotives for the trips. They have done several restoration efforts. Among the stuff that they've restored have been drivers for the Union Pacific Big Boy. Next, we're at the Railroaders Memorial Museum in Altoona. Here we have the Master Mechanics Building, which is the main museum complex. The roundhouse is not original to the property. It was actually added later and is used to house the 1361, which is a locomotive of the Pennsylvania Railroad that sat at the Horseshoe Curve and was restored. It now basically is in the process of being rebuilt, and that long building behind the museum complex is the former tank shop. There were a lot more tracks in this area at the time. Lastly, we're at Horseshoe Curve. Horseshoe Curve is a National Historic Landmark. It is currently used by the railroad, consists of 3 tracks, and is a great spot to watch trains. I highly recommend it if you get a chance to visit. It's a really nice place to go. You can take a tram to the top of the tracks and view the trains as they go by.